Jesus, I need to shave. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the NarikChase channel. I'm your boy NarikChase, and in this video, we're going to be reviewing Venom, There Be Carnage. Now, this film is the sequel to the 2018 Venom film, and this time around, Eddie Brock and Venom have to deal with Cletus Kasady after he gets a symbiote himself and becomes Carnage. Carnage, like, easily one of the top 5 characters that have to be on the big screen. The movie does have really good performances. Tom Hardy does a pretty good job as Eddie Brock, and with all the back and forth that he does with the Venom symbiote, which essentially is himself, is actually really good. He does a really good job with it. A good bit of dialogue that comes off comedically because of this, and it does work. I do like the other performances from the other actors. I do like Michelle Williams. I know people don't really feel like she's a strong character in these films, but I actually think she brings a bit of humanity to the Eddie Brock character. When he's being kind of a shitty person, she balances him out. When he's being this kind of depressed person, she balances him out. I think Woody Harrelson does a really good job. I also really like Naomie Harris. She's one of my favorite actresses, and I think she does a pretty good job here as well. Visually, this just is a great looking movie. Not only the wide shots are just captured beautifully, but the action scenes are actually fantastic. They're really intense, they're really fast paced, and it's really cool and destructive. There's a shit ton of violence in this film. It is bumped up from 10 on the other one to about a 15 in this one. Love it. That's all I want to see in these types of films. I really like the Carnage design. He's really big. He's really just menacing in the way he moves and the way he talks and stuff that he does. I really like the voice too. I know typically like the cartoons and stuff, you hear him, he's got that type of voice, but this was more deep and more gruff, and I really do like that. Feels and sounds like a monster. And I don't know how many people thought of this from the character Shriek, but listening to her and looking at her, I cannot help but think of Tia Dama from the Pirates of the Caribbean series. Is this movie entertaining? Hell yeah. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't have its share problems. First, the story is just stupid. Kasady becoming Carnage and him escaping from jail is a really good story. Have you not read the Maximum Carnage comic? The whole back and forth between Eddie Brock and Venom was kind of cute in the first movie because they initially come together, but then in this movie it just feels a bit tedious, especially how it's drawn out from the first act. And honestly, this movie did show me how shitty of a journalist Eddie Brock really is. It doesn't show him evolving as a character, you know, outside of Michelle Williams' character, who is his friend, besides Mrs. Chen. She's awesome. Bring her back for the third one, hopefully if they have one. He doesn't really have hobbies. He's supposed to be this journalist. He doesn't feel like a journalist. You don't see him taking on different cases. You don't see him really doing research. In a case that he takes in this film, he doesn't even solve it. It's Venom. I don't mind the story behind Kasady and Shriek. The problem is it don't fit their characters. Cletus is a serial killer who does not give a fuck. He is Marvel's version of the Joker. He's chaos incarnate, and in this film, I don't feel that. He doesn't feel like he just doesn't give a fuck. Yes, Cletus and Carnage do some really terrible things in this film. You remember at the end of The Incredible Hulk when old dude Blonsky finally becomes, you know, the Abomination, and then it's all hell breaks loose? That's what I was expecting. That's not what I got. Carnage doesn't feel consistent, doesn't really make sense, doesn't give a shit. Everybody can get it, and that's why I like his character as this like really terrible, evil, essentially incarnate villain. And I feel like this film completely really misses the mark on that. Also, with the violence that he does in this film, where the hell is the blood and the gore? And I'm tired of seeing these dark ass superhero comic book films, and they're so afraid to put blood and gore in this. It's like they're blue balling me for the gore that I know I should be getting and experiencing, but I'm not. And they try to make Kasady like a sympathetic character, and it's like, no, this dude is a complete psychotic asshole. I don't want to feel sorry for him. I want to see him fuck shit up. And I think it would have worked out a bit better if they would have utilized that to kind of help contrast what's going on with Venom and Brock. How if you embrace this symbiote, you can be this Cletus Kasady Carnage crazy. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain, like that kind of scenario. And I like Shriek as a character. Why why the hell was she so wasted in this movie? She does nothing. There's not one really good moment that she has in this movie. And Carnage actually worked together in the comics. Why the hell they seem so disjointed in this movie? And there are definitely a lot of writing choices that I'm like, why is this in this movie? Why did that character make that decision? The direction and the writing just feel it needs to be better. Having said that, Venom, Let There Be Carnage is a movie that's a missed opportunity. And I feel it's kind of on par with what happened with Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 1984. Venom, Let There Be Carnage gets 3 out of 5. I wish that I could have got this a bit more higher rating, but like I said, just the way that the characters were handled, writing choices, some of the direction, the second act, this constant back and forth between Brock and Venom, and how it just felt like it was going nowhere. It really did hurt the film. But like I said, I did like the action. I did like finally getting just a violent Carnage character, some really cool fight scenes, some really cool action scenes. I did like the performances, and like I said, it was entertaining. So guys, in the comment section below, let me know, what are your thoughts about Venom, Let There Be Carnage? Is this a good movie? Is it not a good movie? What could they have done better? And be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on this channel. And guys, if you do want to support the channel, we do have links in the description below with our PayPal. Every little cent helps. Greatly appreciate that, and we'll definitely catch you guys later.